Hey, I'm Jim Weber in the Fox 13 Weather Center. Thanks for logging on to MyFoxHurricane.com. Still watching those two areas out in the Atlantic, the one just off the East Coast, another one further out into the Atlantic. And it's going to take some time for these to develop, especially the one further out into the Atlantic. We also have the other wave that's made its way off the coast of Africa, way out there, the yellow shaded area. That's really going to take some time, and a much lower percentage we're actually going to see something develop with that. But we'll go ahead and start with the first area, which is Invest 95. That is in the now working its way towards the central Atlantic. Now, I was showing you this yesterday, and it was looking very disorganized because we just weren't seeing a whole lot of convection with this. Now you are seeing more convection, but this still has a ways to go. So this is still one of those, just going to watch it over the next several days. It's going to continue to work its way on towards that westerly direction over the next several days. And I think as we get in towards first part of next week, if we're going to see something, that's about the time we would actually start to see some development. And then the big key will be where exactly is that ridge, how strong it is, and that will help to determine, does this continue to take more of a westerly track or does it turn? But you can see the vast majority of the models basically showing at some point it takes more of that turn towards the north and the west and eventually towards the north. So we'll just continue to monitor that as we go through the weekend and into next week. The other area that we've been watching, this is Invest 96. Now, you're seeing a lot of convection with this, but the big key is this is still a very broad area of low pressure, kind of an elongated system. And really, as you look at the various computer models, that's kind of the idea that we see with this, is it stays maybe a little bit more elongated and broad, but there's still the possibility before this moves over cooler waters that it does start to develop and may become a tropical depression or a tropical storm. Very short period of time if that were to happen, because it's working its way into those cooler waters. So at this point, that track is basically taking it on, basically kind of paralleling the coastline, causing some larger surf up along the eastern seaboard, up into places like Maine, up towards Halifax. You're going to see some larger surf. But the idea is if it develops, it's not going to last all that long. So go ahead and look at that wide view on the GFS. Notice the area. I'll go ahead and circle that area off the east coast. Kind of a large area, like elongated or broad area of low pressure. Just really not seeing much as you move into the Atlantic, and then that relatively lower pressure off the coastline of Africa. Notice as we go through time, you really start to see that area developing off the east coast. Still not much going on in the central Atlantic, and further out into the Atlantic, just an area of broad low pressure again. And then you slowly start to see at least that hint as it moves over towards Puerto Rico, or north of Puerto Rico, up towards Hispaniola, and eventually south and east of Bermuda. That idea that maybe we'll start to see some development. So long ways to go, and we'll keep you updated right here on MyFoxHurricane.com.